Hey guys, today y'all work with me. We got a new project. Yay! Anyways, this project is at 1130 Elden Street. It is a replacement of a fuel tank. So because of the type of project it is, usually if it's just a utility, like a connection, or like a utility connection, like water or sewer into the building, there's no stormwater management required. Or because that's not really considered disturbance per the EPA. But because this is a fuel tank, this is different type of disturbance, this requires stormwater management. And also, because this project is in the Chesapeake Bay area, disturbance over 2,500 square feet requires stormwater management. So let's engineer something. I spent way too much time of the project, like not realizing the camera's on, or there's a blue light, but the blue light's always on. I think that I should just unplug it when I'm not using it. That's a good idea, right? So let's get into it. I'm really looking at the plan, seeing how everything is laid out, and I'm going through other emails just to make sure I have everything that I need and downloaded, because I think I sent someone down before, but things happen. Currently, I do have Victor working on putting the survey together. Victor was out. He was on vacation for a week. That's the issue of having a small team. We will grow. Don't worry. We're interviewing. Here, I'm just trying to get this property line. And what I'm going to do with this property line is bring it into the NRCS soil survey, and so that I can extrapolate the soil information. That didn't work. So let's skip around, but you'll see you'll see how it didn't work. Here I was looking at other plans, example plans that I did receive, since I'm not 100% familiar working in Herndon County. I have worked in neighboring counties, not counties but cities, because Virginia is I think a commonwealth. So as a result, Alexandria has their own thing, Arlington has their own thing, Fairfax County is their own thing, Herndon is their own thing. Falls Church is probably is known as the most stringent as far as their submission process. They have their own thing. So I asked for some example projects so that I could really figure out how they want things laid out. So that's the most important part when you're doing projects from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. The information is pretty much the same. It's really just laying it out how the reviewers want to see it. It's going to be different regardless, because we're all different, we're different companies, so we're going to lay it out within our style. But overall, it needs to contain information that they want to see. I'm copying all the plans from the emails into the folders, seeing that this is a very recent plan that was approved. And so the reason why they gave me this project is because this project in particular, they did not do any stormwater management facilities. So they bypassed doing any type of quantity, or didn't have to do any quantity, because their disturbance or the increase of impervious area is less than 10%. They only had to do quality analysis, and that is basically the removal of phosphorus. And they did not do that as well. So they didn't do it. It's usually for that type of analysis for quantity control, you can do a facility as well, like permeable pavement, bioretention. They also bypassed to do that as well, and they just paid a fee to a nutrient bank in Herndon. In this, I don't know if it's for Herndon or Virginia. I need to double check that. Let's skip around. This is me going back to trying to copy this property line so that I can, and I'm copying, putting it in a different place, and so that I can upload it into an NRCS soil survey. I spent entirely too much time to do this, and it kept failing. I don't know why it kept failing. I checked it on so many different places.
Victor, one of my engineers back in town, they're also trying to put some surveys on this list.
This is me talking to a client in the middle of all this.
These projects I should put on the list for surveys to go survey.
I was talking to a client, so they had 4 projects they wanted me to do a couple weeks ago, and now that our surveyor is back in town, I was just calling to see if she wanted to still proceed with the surveys. She called back today, and I think she wants to move forward.
Where I said, don't want to move forward.
Skip around.
I can avoid them here.
There was a little bit of a tiff with her person that she had a surveyor previously. She had him call me, and I think there was some type of issue with him. Yeah, we just clashed for some reason. So I was just making sure that everything is good. She was letting me know, like, I don't know what's happened. She was on my side as well. So I think the relationship there is maintained. Sorry, back to this project. Let's skip around. Again, I'm trying to figure out why it's not imported in the correct locations. You'll see here, I set it, and then it comes to this like crazy location. I don't know why. It's in CAD, I have it at NAD for North Virginia. So I don't know why it's coming to this location. And when we pull this is also GIS information. We pull this GIS information, we pulled it from the correct location. So I'll check again once Victor comes back with the survey, because he did survey it, but this is from the GIS. So maybe this isn't from the proper location. We'll see. Eventually I gave up, but I spent way too long doing that. Here I just brought in a previous project so that I could just build off of that. Here I'm aligning, because the survey is not ready yet, and but I still want to know where we stand as far as like stormwater management. If is quantity control going to be required for this project. I aligned the property lines with the image, but because this is a GIS property line, it wasn't accurate. So it is a little bit squinky on this side versus that side. And also this is a survey from 2000. It's most likely hand drawn. So it's a little bit more difficult to align as a result. Let's skip around. You'll notice that the disturbance is only in this location. Here's what it is. Here is the fuel tank. They even have a fence to allocate the limits of disturbance, which was about 3,000 square feet. It crashed. It's CAD, of course. Here I'm continuing to align the image with the GIS. I did end up asking the owner for their plans instead of just using their PDFs. He gave it to me today, but I want to wait until Victor is done with the survey until I proceed with finalizing the plan set itself. But this also gives us a good number of what's going on. So I use the image with the GIS to get the existing and the proposed. So we need to compare that to see if we have an increase in impervious area by 10%. Here I'm comparing, there was a plan that was done for this particular project back in 2000. So I'm comparing that project and looking at the layout of the site to see what changes were made. It's a bit difficult to tell from it as well. So I'm entering the numbers into the spreadsheet. As you can see, net increase in impervious area is, so yeah, so I have to, once I input those numbers, I have to delete these. I just used a previously used drainage table. And also I'm looking at the GIS. I did end up putting my hours in for this project. That's why I went to QuickBooks. Because we're not doing a full quantity control for this project, I am going to charge it hourly, just so that it would be a little bit more advantageous for a client, as opposed to us charging for the entire fee. Here I'm just asking some questions of the reviewers, the inspectors, and the client to make sure that we're all on the same page. Like, for example, there is an affidavit that's going to be needed to be signed off on for the retention credit, but you still need to do the entire plan set. You just don't submit that one thing. So okay, so we got through that and we figured out some really good information for this project so that we can move forward to the next steps. So this project only needs quality control. The net increase in impervious area is less than 10%, which is a Virginia requirement. If you increase your impervious area by more than 10% in an area that's over less than an acre, particularly, then you need to do, if it's over 10%, you need to storm manage it. If it's less than, you are exempt for doing quantity control. I hope I'm saying that right. So see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.